Hi guys, it's Heather, the Butterfly Effect plant-based weight loss. Happy Wednesday to you. And I thought I would do a really quick video and show you what I'm eating, just to say that I have been following a 100-day renewed, energized plan, right? So still doing what I've always been doing, but really committing to follow it exactly for 100 days. And I want to show you what I'm eating, and just kind of show you that it's the same thing I was showing you before. So I brought with me, let me just take some stuff out, big old salad. I like to start my day with salad. So this is a lot of salad, right? And in it I have, let's see, so this is spinach and arugula. So I did use, two forks. 2 forks are better than 1. And then I've got carrots in there. I've got cabbage. I use like a coleslaw mix. I also have some grated up beets. I have some flax seeds, ground flax seeds, about like a tablespoon of those. I put in some mushrooms and some hummus. I make my own hummus. This is a white bean hummus, which is nothing but white beans, lemon juice, and something called Benson's Table Tasty. Oh, and garlic, lots of garlic. And then it also has salsa, and I use Mrs. Plant in Texas recipe for salsa fresca, but I leave out the sweetener, and I leave out the salt. Anyway, so that is what's in my, oh, it's got red cabbage. I like to put, my formula is kind of like something leafy and then lots of crunchy things. And I cut it down. You can see it's a very chopped salad. I cut it down tiny. Some people have said that it reminds them of like lawn clippings. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me. I'll bring on the lawn clippings. I'm happy. Because when you cut it down really small, I could fit, this actually has 2 full containers of this spinach and arugula that it says on here. So this is the 5-ounce one, but so it has 10 ounces of this spinach and arugula. Because I chopped it down so much, it fits, right? And then it has all that other stuff I told you also. So when you chop it down, you can fit a lot in there, and it's very satisfying. And I do eat sequentially, so I will eat my salad before I will have my steamed veggies, which is the next thing I'm gonna have. Whoops. So this is a big old, this is my container of broccoli and carrots and cauliflower. And I will use just like a drizzle of a flavored balsamic vinegar from a favorite company, which is called California Balsamic. They make this teriyaki vinegar that tastes so good on broccoli and cauliflower and carrots, or just broccoli or just cauliflower, all the things. I really like it. Now I like them plain too, but it just takes it to a whole nother level, so that I'm just super excited to eat my veggies. This is a 9-cup container, and it's probably, I would say this is about 2 to 3 pounds of vegetables. And so I'll eat this whenever I am done. So I'll eat my salad first, and I'll eat it till it's gone. And then I will, and that might take a long time, right? Because if I'm not hungry, I'm gonna stop eating. Does that make sense? So if I get full, I'm not gonna keep eating, but the next time I get hungry, I'm gonna finish the salad before I have the veggies, because I'm doing that sequencing. And then I'll have the veggies till they're done. And then I'll have, today it's blueberries. I got a really good deal on a bunch of blueberries, so I'm gonna have those. And I might not eat all of these. It's a whole pound of blueberries. And so that's a lot of blueberries, right? It's like I might not eat all of these. Um, and so what I do is I eat when my hunger gets to like a negative. If you picture a scale, if you picture a hunger scale that goes from -10 is like I haven't eaten in 3 days kind of thing, and to a 10, which would be like I'm so full I feel like I could pop, like I feel like I might get physically sick. It's beyond Thanksgiving full. Okay, so if you had the scale like that, and then 0 is like I'm neither hungry nor full. Like I'm fine. I'm not feeling hungry, but I'm not feeling full. It's kind of where I am right now. I'm right at a 0. I'm not hungry. I'm not full. Okay, so I'm gonna start eating when I get like a grumbly tummy and it's asking me to eat. Like my stomach's saying, I'm pretty hungry. So I would say that's like about a -2 or -3. And then I try to stop eating when I get to about like a +2. So that's I'm 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 good. Like if this is all I had to eat, I could stop eating right now and I'd be fine until the next meal. I'm not stuffed. In fact, I could probably eat a little bit more, right? So just like a +2. And the reason for doing that is just to stay really in touch with my hunger, but also to acknowledge that it's going to take a while for my food to get like digested and the signal to get to my brain that I'm full. And if I keep eating during that time, or if I eat really fast, I might eat more than I need or want, and that could make me feel like a stretched out stomach, or um, I want to be really in touch with my body signals, right? Just like I drink water when I'm thirsty and I sleep when I'm tired. I don't try to suppress feeling tired by having coffee anymore. I used to. I used to have a lot of caffeine. It was really hard to get off of. I think it was probably as hard to get off of as sugar. But the difference is now that I'm off of caffeine, I never want caffeine again, ever, as opposed to I got off sugar and sometimes I still want sugar, right? So they're different that way, but it was really hard to get off of. And anyway, it's about like honoring your hunger signal. All my life, I've been on diets. I've been on like trying to eat under my hunger drive. Or binging and eating way over my hunger drive. And I don't want to do either one, right? Like I want to honor my body by giving it what it needs in the right amounts. Um, and so that's what I'm doing these days. And just really waiting to feel hungry before I eat. Why wouldn't I do that, right? And stopping eating, the more challenging part is stopping eating when you know you've had enough, but the food still tastes good. And that's when all the little stories come into your head like, but this is super healthy food. It's fine if I overeat on it. Really? Is it fine that you're overeating on it? Like you're literally making your body work harder than it needs to, and you're adding on calories that you don't need to. And right now I'm actively trying to remove weight from my body. Why do I want to overeat? But even more than that, it's just not, it's kind of like my body's like, okay, I've had enough. And I'm just like, I don't care. Forget you, body, So I want to be sensitive to that and just honor that. And it'll also keep me out of trouble, because there are things people will tell you. I feel like people will tell you that you can't overeat on healthy natural food. You can. You can totally overeat on healthy natural food. If you eat when you're no longer hungry, that by definition is overeating. You're eating more calories than your body needs to do what it needs to do. So if I'm thinking of my food as fuel, which is how, now I don't eat for entertainment. Now I eat to fuel my body. and I pick the highest quality things to fuel my body, and they happen to taste good, which is great. That's the awesome thing when you pick something to eat, like I picked vegan, sofa's free, so no sugar, no oil, no flour, no alcohol, low salt, but completely vegan. And I'm eating things that are very high nutrient density, lots of greens, lots of vegetables, lots of fresh fruit, all those kinds of things. Then you can know that you're having the highest quality of food, but very soon, if it didn't feel like it tasted good to you, it will, because you will neuroadapt. Everything that you like right now, you only like because you've been having it for many times. The only thing that we're born liking is breast milk, and then everything else we learn. And so we can learn to like veggies, so we can learn to like fruit, we can learn to like greens and all the different things. We can learn to like delicious starch. I want to mention that when I go home tonight, I take everything to work with me that I'm going to eat during the day, except for my last starch of the day, my dinner, which is usually, lately it's been like about a half of a sweet potato, a Jersey sweet potato, like about that big, but half of one, and some more vegetables, whatever I have in the fridge. So I've been eating like some stir fry vegetables, which would be like kind of more broccoli, carrots, and cauliflower. I really like broccoli and carrots and cauliflower. And anyway, so that gets eaten at night. And starch gets eaten last. And even when I eat a meal with starch in it, I eat some veggies with it, because we say, okay, but first veggies. I really believe in sequencing. I feel like sequencing has worked beautiful for me. I'm a big believer. Okay, so the last thing I want to leave you with is tomorrow is the 4th of July, somewhere in my blue and my red. And I'm white. I'm a very white person, right? I'm very pale. So I've been thinking a lot about my thinking. And it's kind of interesting that humans are the only animals that can think about their thinking, because we're the only ones that have this kind of prefrontal cortex that we have that allows us to do that. And I've been thinking about all the thoughts that I have had in the past, and sometimes that crop back up now, that haven't served me. And because tomorrow is Independence Day in the United States, I'm like, what if I declared independence from those thoughts that didn't serve me? So when I talk about thoughts that don't serve me, here are my greatest hits. Here are some ones that I have had in the past that haven't served me. Like, it's so sad that I can't eat what everybody else can eat. That thought didn't serve me, because when I thought that thought, then I felt sad and I felt sorry for myself. And when I feel sorry for myself, I sulk. I don't like who I am. I don't like feeling that way, right? Like, I don't like feeling sorry for myself. And then the result is that if you truly feel deprived, how long are you going to be able to hold out and do that? So I would just choose to go off my plan. Or another thought that I used to have that was like, this is, I don't think I can live without, and then insert what you want to insert. So I used to be like, I just can't see the rest of my life without chocolate. Or am I really thinking I'm going to go the rest of my life without having sugar or flour or whatever, right? And that thought didn't serve me at all, again, because it made me doubt my confidence. It made me say, there's no way you're going to do that. Like, it made me doubt my ability to do it. And again, gave me those like feeling, that kind of like a feeling of desperation. Like, is this possible, like I have to do it and I've decided I want to do it, but I don't think I can do it. So it just caused self-doubt. And when you have self-doubt, again, you end up taking actions that will prove the thought true, right? So really watch your thinking. I really recommend that you do something called a thought download, which is where you just write out everything you think. Like, ask yourself a question, like, what do I think about my weight? What do I think about my ability to lose weight? I know people that truly believe that no matter what they do, they can't lose weight. Um, I think she would be fine with me telling you this, but like even my sister used to say, no matter what I do, I can't lose weight. And she had tried many, many things. And what would happen is she would decide something wasn't working, and then she would stop doing it, and then she would prove the thought true, because right when something would have worked is when she stopped doing it. Um, I have never thought that I can't lose weight, because everything I've ever tried, I've at least lost some on. But I used to have the thought, I can't keep it off. I used to think I can take off weight, but I can't keep it off. Um, and that was a limiting belief, because if I can't keep it off, if that's my thought, then the feeling it produces is, well, why the heck am I trying so hard if it's just going to be temporary, and just like frustration, um, and kind of hopelessness, and um, yeah. So that's the feeling that it produced, which produced the eventually sabotaging myself and like putting it back on, because I thought that I would. I was expecting myself to do it. So that when we know that our circumstances are neutral, it's when you have a thought about something that that produces a feeling. Feelings motivate us to take actions or inaction, depending on the feeling. And some feelings can paralyze you, and then you'll get a certain result. When you feel that way, what do you do? When you do what you do, what result do you get, right? And always, you can tell what thought you're having. You can go backwards, you can go by your results, and you can figure out what thought you're having. Because if you're sabotaging yourself or something like that, there's a thought behind that, right? It might be, I don't believe that I can really do this. And since you don't believe that you can really do this, you're going to sabotage yourself so that you continue to have that disbelief that you can really do this. Um, other thoughts, sometimes like when I'm tempted by something, a thought I'll have is, it doesn't matter, and that makes me feel really impulsive, and then that causes the action of me doing something that I know I'll later regret. And then the result, that's a one time I would say the result does not prove it right. Like, the result is I gain weight, and I'm like, I guess that did matter, right? But it's a thought error. It's a thought error. And when you have a thought error, you can just treat it like, I really like the analogy of treating it like a pop-up ad on your computer. You definitely don't want to click on that pop-up ad. You don't want to react to it. You also don't, I don't put a lot of emotion into resisting those things either, or about fretting if it doesn't go perfectly. So my advice is, if you have a mess up, I really encourage you to just like ignore it and get right back to work. That seems like it has worked the best for me. I've tried things. I've tried like analyzing it, or talking it over with a friend. I do think those are good, especially if it kind of hit you out of the blue and you don't remember having a thought. But if it was just like, my stress level was high, I was trying really hard to be conscientious, and then I ended up deciding to have it, and I almost like ate against my own will. Sometimes we can have that feeling, especially like binging feelings, where it almost feels like you're out of control in that situation. If that happens, I really do think that you should look at the other things, like how to control your stress level better, But as far as wasting any energy on regretting it, I don't think it's very helpful. I just don't. I react with self-compassion, and I treat myself like someone that it's my job to help. So it's almost like I'm my own life coach, or I'm my own weight coach, or yeah, because I'm like, well, that happened. Let's get right back on track. What will serve you the most in this moment? Get right back on track. And or I'll be like, if I'm hungry and I'm sweating it because it's not time to eat, or they don't have my preferred fuel available and I'm hungry, um, then I'll be like, you can do this, you're doing so good, I'm proud of you. If I'm not weighing in right now, but when I weigh in, if I weigh in and it doesn't look like as what I think I should have gotten off, then I'll be like, you know what? It's going to show up. Just keep believing in yourself, keep doing what you're doing, concentrate on the goal. You can do this. Just concentrate on doing everything you know to do. What small changes can you do today that you will thank yourself for tomorrow? So, the same kinds of things I tell you guys is exactly what I tell myself. And feels like it's working for me. I'm feeling really good. I am wearing a smaller size, so that makes me feel good. I won't weigh in until the end of August, so I won't know that side of it, but all the other stuff is going well, and it's not going perfect, and that is okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Good enough is actually good enough. And sometimes trying to be perfect in this imperfect world will make you nuts. And so I look at life as like a learning lab, and no matter what happens, I'm still going to learn from it. I'm just going to learn from it and move along. And that feels really good. Hope you guys are having a great week. I hope that you will do what I suggested and write down your thoughts, examine your thoughts, decide if they are working for you. Are these helping me achieve my goals? Are these what I want to think anymore? Especially like, are you thinking mean things about yourself? Are you being mean to yourself? If that's the case, do you want to continue to think that? And then you can once you're aware of your thoughts, you can think new thoughts that will produce the feelings that you want to feel, and the actions fuel you on taking the actions that you want to take, and give you the results that you want to get. So when I have that thought, this doesn't matter, I have learned to recognize it, and I say, you know what, it matters a lot. It matters a lot. My health matters, feeling good matters, being proud of myself matters, and I'll tell myself all of that matters more than the stuff on that plate that I was going to eat. So once you've identified those thoughts, you can choose to think a new thought. Like my sister was thinking, no matter what I do, I can't lose weight, right? And she started thinking, I haven't tried anything that has worked for me yet. And that was a step up from thinking that she couldn't lose weight, right? Because then it at least allowed the possibility that something could work. And then, eventually she was able to say, I can stay faithful to my plan, and that will allow me to lose weight. And then eventually she did take off a lot of weight. So once you've identified those thoughts, that's when you take your power back, and you let yourself have the opportunity to confront those thoughts, ask them if they're true. And even if they're true, are they helping you? Is there another thought that could serve you, or that could produce the feelings that you would rather have? And you can work with it that way. All right, so declare independence from those thoughts that are not serving you, and have a great and safe holiday weekend. And please, remember that it matters. Remember that it matters. You're probably going to be tempted by a lot of things. Um, a lot of people are going. A lot of things might be tempting. I just choose to not even see them. I don't even want to see them. They're just they're irrelevant because they're not my fuel. And if they're not my fuel, then I don't have to torture myself by noticing them. But everybody has to handle that how they want to handle that. But just please remember that you matter. Please remember that you can do this. You can do this, and just have a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye bye.